My name is Morgan Kumpfmiller. I am the owner and founder of American Dreamers Renovations. American Dreamers Renovations is a design build company. We actually specialize in restructure and structure. So what that means is when people want to take all of these walls out of their home and they want to have this beautiful open space, they come to us. The more common thing to do now is to combine the kitchen and dining room. The formal dining room is almost a thing of the past for people. How we use our homes today is very different than how we used our homes yesterday. So we are literally breaking down walls to create beautiful spaces. So this kitchen was more of a need initially than it was a want. Yes, they got everything they wanted in it, but actually we had some collapsing floors and some collapsing bearing points. And so we got rid of those. And in doing that, we got to open up this space.
Morgan, what a beautiful, wide open, bright and sparkly space.
Isn't it? Thank you so much.
Tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind this design.
Well, actually, this design was more of a need than a want. We had some walls that absolutely had to come out. And once they did, our possibilities were endless.
The first thing I noticed is these two huge kitchen islands.
I know, if I could have fit 3, I definitely would have done it, but I did settle for a peninsula. Actually, this is such a large kitchen. We had to be very conscious of how we purposefully divided the space. So we made part of it a parlor for entertaining. And of course, then we have the cooking section, the eating section, and to tie it all together was that very important peninsula.
And I noticed you mentioned parlor. Tell me a little bit about this wet bar area.
So a parlor in a home is actually really important if you have the space because it allows your guests to have a place to go that isn't in your workspace when you're trying to entertain them. They can sit here, they can relax, they can have a drink, they can even wash it up on their own with the glass rinse. So it really is a great place to entertain.
And I am loving this wine column.
Isn't it amazing? You can fit over 100 bottles of wine in that. It is a commitment, it's intense. Now, of course, if you want to wash yourself up, you've got a glass rinse, you've got a dishwasher, and if you want something a little stronger, we do have an ice maker.
Amazing. Moving back into the main kitchen area, tell me a little bit about this.
Well, of course, we do have one dishwasher already, but we need a main dishwasher. So there's a second, and it's next to the bathtub. Sink.
The largest sink ever.
I know, it is a kitchen bathtub, if you will. It is so large. And then of course we have the beautiful built-in refrigeration.
Stunning. Now moving over to this area, I am loving these sparkly countertops that tie right into this backsplash.
Aren't they stunning? These are, of course, the king of countertops. This is Cambria, so no expense was spared. We wanted to make sure, though, that when we looked down and we looked up, everything was perfect. So we've got this beautiful tiled dark floor, and this backsplash is actually quite special. It is antique glass with marble, and it cascades up to this beautiful hood, just drawing the eye up, and it's wrapped in stone.
And I'm loving these cabinets that take you all the way up to the ceiling, accented by this beautiful hardware.
I know, these handles are actually one of the hardest things we had to source. We did want sparkle, but we didn't want it to be too gaudy. We were afraid it could be too much, so we were looking for something that sparkled and then stayed sparkly so that when you touched it, your fingerprints weren't still on it.
Beautiful. I am loving this huge 48-inch range.
It is amazing, and actually these people really cook. This is not just for show. They want the full 48. They are so committed to cooking, they even have a sous vide. So that being said, we couldn't just stop it there. We had to go all the way up to the pot filler because when you're this bougie, you need not carry your water. They also went for the under-counter microwave. This keeps it off of the counter, and we surely don't want it over the stove.
And I'm looking at this beautiful pendant lighting.
It is really stunning. We actually made these coordinate throughout the whole kitchen, which really helped to tie the parlor and the kitchen together. And of course, we have under cabinet lighting because you can't have a bougie kitchen without under cabinet lighting.
Absolutely, stunning. And then I'm noticing this is the prep island.
It is the prep island. You can prep on it, but it's also a second drink station. These are big coffee and tea drinkers, so we wanted to make sure we had the Insta-Hot, and then we wanted to make sure we had a family beverage center, so they went for the under-counter beverage unit.
And what a beautiful dining room area, and is that a television?
I'm so glad you noticed that. That is a television. Actually, at American Dreamers, we do try to talk our clients into getting a framed TV, only because it takes away that big black box that just hangs on the wall. We can now make it look like artwork, which is great.
How innovative. Morgan, thank you so much for taking time today to give us this tour of this beautiful kitchen space.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.